There have been a lot of leaks and rumors recently regarding the next Nintendo console to come out, and I'm here to add to the pile. If you've never met me before, you can call me Z. I recently came across a thread on r/Nintendo that had a mountain of credible information regarding the new Nintendo console. The thread has since been deleted, but thankfully, I screenshotted all of it before it disappeared. I will take you through the thread step by step, quickly and concisely, but before we do that, I feel like we should go over the leaks that came out before the Reddit post. Here is what we already know from the rumors and leaks so far. Rumor has it that the dev kits have already been shipped to key partners. The newest console was also potentially demoed behind closed doors at Gamescom in July of 2023 with a few groups. Apparently, one of the demos was a more robust version of Breath of the Wild. One thing we can say for sure is that they didn't take the demo anywhere near the Korok Forest. The newest console will still be portable, similar to the Switch, but we've also heard that the new console will release on an LCD screen instead of an OLED screen in order to cut costs. Lastly, we've heard that Nintendo will continue to offer physical game media as well as digital downloads, which comes as a surprise to absolutely no one. Even with its enormous success, the Switch can still make a lot of improvements, and these improvements will be seen on the newest console. Nintendo is considering calling this console Stream, so that is what we will call it for the rest of this video. Some people are theorizing that this new console will be a home media hub based on the name and the information that will be discussed later in this video. Either way, the Stream will be superior to the Switch in almost every way.
Mr. Krabs, how do we get people to buy our new console?
I know. Let's invent the smallest controller ever.
First and foremost, the Joy-Cons are trash. They're awful. I can say without a doubt that these controllers are the worst controllers I've ever used, and I grew up playing the Nintendo 64. Yikes. The controller for Stream is rumored to be a huge improvement over the Joy-Cons, and it's also supposed to be cheaper. Speaking of controllers, let's talk about the gamepad itself. Nintendo knows that the fans will not want to part with the portability of the Switch. Therefore, the newest console will still have handheld capability and also allow you to play on the TV. But the connection to the TV will be completely wireless. You can still dock the console if you want to, and it will charge it, but you don't have to do so, and it will still communicate to the TV without any lag. Regarding the console itself, the Switch feels bad to hold over a long period of time. It's pretty dense and thin, which can make hands sore from long gaming sessions and portability mode. The Stream is a lot more ergonomic, with curves on the back of the console for easier holdability, and it's much lighter. There will also be a touchscreen, just like the Switch, but Nintendo plans on actually utilizing it this time. Let's be honest, the Switch is severely lacking in personality. 7 years into the console's lifespan, and the Themes tab still has the same selection it had at launch. Seriously, why would you code a Themes tab into the settings if the themes are just black and white? It says Themes. It doesn't say colors. It doesn't say light mode or dark mode. It says Themes.
I mean, I don't even know what the theme is. What's the theme?
Basic black.
White?
Those aren't themes.
There's also no music anywhere in the menu or the settings. It's like the most corporate console Nintendo has ever released. If we go back, even the GameCube had menu music. Listen. Nintendo is taking a page out of their own book and is trying to create a more Wii-adjacent menu experience for the Stream console. We will have music, colorful and interactive menus, and more life to the console in general. Not only that, but Stream will also have apps, applications. It is confirmed that this console will have support for Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, Amazon Video, and probably more, as well as other apps that will bring you back to your Wii days in 2008, such as the news and the weather, even a web browser. The menu on the Switch is simply a catalog of games. whereas the menu on Stream is a fully immersive user experience. On another note, Nintendo has heard your cries for a virtual console library, and they plan to add the most diverse virtual console shop yet. Full of purchasable games from 10, 15, 20 years ago, right alongside a storefront that also features digital purchases of modern games, downloadable demos, and periodic discounts. It's safe to say that Stream will have the best virtual console Nintendo has ever seen, and honestly probably just generally the best store ever. Not only that, but Stream will be fully backwards compatible. That's right, folks. Your last gen games that you have right now will not be left behind. The Switch is a fantastic multiplayer experience in person, but online it's a different story. It blows my mind that they expect you to use a cell phone app to voice chat with other gamers. You also can't send messages or really interact in any way with your friends. Nintendo has been keeping an eye on the insane toxicity of Twitter and other social media apps as a whole, and they wanted to remove themselves from that. So they've decided to create their own online ecosystem where only Nintendo users can exist. This online service is fully integrated into the games, has community forums, and actual interactivity with both your friends and other Nintendo users. You can send messages, exchange game screenshots and videos, and even voice and video chat with friends. That's right, this tablet has a camera and a microphone. I know that we've been calling this console Stream, but according to Nintendo, it's one of multiple names they are considering. Instead, they have been using its in-house codename, which is Project Cafe. The price point is slated to be $299 US if you opt for just the console, but Nintendo is also offering a deluxe edition for $349 that will be bundled with a launch game similar to Wii Sports. Project Cafe is slated for a November release, so get ready, except it's not coming out in 2024 like everyone thinks. Project Cafe is releasing in 2012. More specifically, November 18th, 2012. That is when Project Cafe released. Except it wasn't called Stream, it was called the Wii U. If you've made it this far into the video, perhaps we can agree that with a few small changes, the Wii U would actually be a pretty good release in today's day and age. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.